one of the key pushings behind, or the things that drove, shall we say, Brexit to begin with, was this free market fundamentalist idea that you really did not need this whole UK manufacturing base of farming, whatever, anything made in the UK, it didn't matter. We could get it elsewhere in the world for cheaper. And somehow it didn't seem to register with, well, even these free market fundamentalists, that, you actually need jobs here because, well, people need to work, and then people need to earn that money from their jobs to, well, buy things like food, clothing, shelter, all the good basics that people have to live. And yet, in this free market fundamentalist worldview, that would be perfectly fine because, well, all of a sudden we'd all find ourselves working in the city, and there would be this magnificent Brexit bonus that would be fantastic, and everything would be all sunshine, milk and honey, and it would be a land of rainbows. Of course, this did not really happen, nor did it come to pass. But that is what many of these free market fundamentalists wanted to push. And now we see that small businesses, if they import anything from the EU or even export anything to the EU, it is driving up their costs that they have to pass on to the consumer, be it someone in Europe who now has to pay more to get things like Wensleydale cheese or, some other fine British produce. Or maybe you are importing something from Europe. This has been dubbed by small businesses as the Brexit tax. And we're going to be talking about that today because as more as this comes into force, not only is this going to rise food prices, but some of these small businesses are going to go out of business. And remember, we have been talking at every opportunity when we have seen a small business that's gone out of business because of Brexit, because of this tax, because of all this stuff. We've reported on it because I want to bring you that news, because unfortunately some of these shops don't get the attention that they deserve. But I wholly expect that especially next year, we're going to see a lot of shops disappearing, especially small business shops that are going to really struggle now that they have to pay this Brexit tax. And remember, this isn't the EU doing this. This is us doing it to ourselves, because we are now a third country, and we've explained many, many times to the Brexiteers what that would mean. This is exactly what it means. When you are a third country, you have to follow the EU rules. That doesn't matter if you are not in the EU anymore, because if you don't follow those rules, well, then guess what? You can't trade with the EU. But we're going to be talking about, like I said, the Brexit tax first before we get talking about that. That's a video for later. But please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below, there are links to my Patreon page and a one-off donation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, well, buy me coffee. And of course, there's the Pony Club down below as well, and the YouTube thank you button. So, on over today to the Grocery Gazette with the title of Brexit Tax Could Force Small UK Food Businesses to Increase Prices. UK businesses importing food products from the European Union could be forced to raise prices following the introduction of a Brexit tax. Last week, the Department for Environmental and Food and Rural Affairs, or DEFRA, issued a consultation document which stated there would be a new planned charge of £34 per consignment, the Observer reported. So you are now paying an extra £43. That might not sound a lot, but that soon quickly adds up. And we've already seen businesses stop importing and even exporting, and even EU businesses just go, why should I even bother having to fill out all that extra time and paperwork to send stuff to the UK, where I've got customers in Germany and France or Italy or else ever in the EU, and it's just easy as to just send them their products. Like I say, that is one of the big reasons why we're in such a bad economic outlook at the moment. There you go. So, in this document, DEFRA has said that the tax looks to recover the operating costs for the government-run border control posts in England, with the charge affecting imports such as the Dover ports, and which control over 90% of food imports from the EU. However, commercial posts will be able to determine their own costs. So that £43, that might not even be the upper limit if it goes through one of these other commercial posts. That might even be higher. And imagine that. What bottlenecks that is going to create with these small businesses trying to make sure that maybe their stuff goes out through Dover so that they don't have to pay a higher price if it goes through a commercial post. Like I say, this is going to cause all kinds of problems. But back to it. Industry sources have said that the smaller retailers and especially specialist food shops, delicatessens that import such items from Parma ham and French cheese will be hit particularly hard by the tax. A UK government spokesperson told The Observer that growing the economy and supporting small businesses are priorities for this government. Well, you're not really supporting these small businesses, are you? You haven't really done anything to support them. The estimated charge of £20 to £43 is the indicative range at which we will continue to try and determine the full scale of operating costs and finalise the risk categories under the target operating model. We are currently consulting with the sector and businesses to try and ensure that we take the fairest approach possible that works for them, while also facilitating the movement of goods into the country and protecting our own biosecurity. This news comes as research by the London School of Economics found that consumers have paid over £5.8 billion in additional grocery costs during the 2 years since the end of 2021 as a result of Brexit. As the chairman, Lord Stuart Rose, has also warned that Brexit has been a catastrophic for British businesses, having urged the government to consider closing trading relationships with the EU. And ultimately, as we said, I think that's what's going to happen. You're going to have the Labour government come in and they are going to start doing alignment deals with the EU. That is the only way Starmer can try and ease this situation. Now, it won't be perfect. It won't be perfect by a long shot. But it will be better than the current situation we've got now. And of course, the Brexiteers will be up in arms. Oh my God, Starmer's doing alignment deals with the EU. He's taking us back into the EU. Well, eventually, as we probably have said many times, we will reach a point where Starmer or someone will go, look, this is Brexit. This is as best as it is ever going to get. Are you really sure this is what you wanted, UK, when we could be back in the single market and customs union or even a full member of the EU? And we're already seeing the public's turn against voting for leave because, of course, these whole big ideas that the Brexiteers sold as Brexit as being the best thing since sliced bread has not come to pass. And it never was going to come to pass because it was built on nothing but lies. And now that, shall we say, the chief architect predominantly of those lies has gone, it shows you the less and less power these right-wingers that have forced this through really have. And eventually, I think more and more MPs are going to join the chorus of we need to do more deals with Europe. We need closer alignment. Well, if you want closer alignment, the best thing you can do is not only just sign alignment deals, but eventually join the single market customs union. And then once you're in there, might as well just consider, joining the EU as a full member again. And like I say, I really do hope that we join when Nigel Farage is still alive, because, oh my word, the saltiness that we will experience would be breathtaking. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and a link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.